General Motors just shocked the truck world. The iconic V8 is back in the 2026 Chevy Silverado 1500. After years of engine failures, GM is investing $888 million. What went so wrong before? And what's GM really planning while rivals abandon V8s for hybrids and turbos? Is this the comeback real truck fans have been waiting for? Or the start of a whole new V8 era? Let's be real. This new V8 for the 2026 Chevy Silverado 1500 didn't just appear out of thin air. It's not like General Motors suddenly woke up one day and thought, you know what would be cool? Let's build a better V8. No, this move came from pressure, frustration, and years of problems that pushed even the most loyal Chevy fans to the edge. It came from a crisis, and now GM, under the leadership of CEO Mary Barra, is finally doing something about it. See, over the last 10 years, things got rocky for GM's full-size trucks. The 5.3-liter and 6.2-liter V8s, once seen as bulletproof engines, started becoming a bit of a gamble. For a brand like Chevrolet, where the V8 isn't just a piece of hardware, but part of the brand's DNA, that's a serious issue. So what exactly went wrong? The short answer, a lot. But if we had to pick one standout issue, it's this: lifter failure. Now, if you're not an engine expert, lifters are small but important parts in the valve system. Their job is to open and close the engine's valves as the camshaft spins. When they work, great. When they fail, it's game over. Silverado owners were seeing lifters collapse entirely, causing misfires, check engine lights, and in the worst cases, complete engine failure. We're not talking about minor annoyances here. We're talking full engine replacements on brand new trucks that cost upwards of $50,000 or more. That's enough to make anyone second guess their loyalty. And just when you thought it couldn't get worse, along came GM's smart tech features, specifically AFM, active fuel management, and DFM, dynamic fuel management. These systems were designed to improve fuel economy by shutting off a few cylinders when you didn't need all the power. It sounds clever in theory, but in practice, not so much. The added complexity introduced even more problems. Drivers started noticing odd throttle responses, weird hesitation when accelerating, and unpredictable performance. Plus, these fuel-saving systems put more stress on the already fragile lifters, which made those failures even more common. The result? Drivers didn't trust the tech, and many ended up disabling it entirely using aftermarket tuners. And let's be honest, when customers are modifying their brand new trucks just to make them reliable, something's gone seriously wrong. But wait, we're not done yet. Even when the engine managed to hold it together, the transmissions weren't helping either. GM's 8-speed and 10-speed automatics should have been smooth, responsive, and confident. Instead, they felt awkward and unrefined, especially at lower speeds. They'd constantly hunt for gears, shifting up, then down, then back up again, leaving drivers feeling like their truck couldn't decide what it wanted to do. It made daily driving feel clunky and jerky, exactly the opposite of what you'd expect from a full-size pickup designed for both power and comfort. Put all of that together: unreliable engines, untrustworthy fuel systems, and clunky transmissions, and you get one big problem: lost trust. Silverado fans are some of the most loyal truck owners in the world, but even they started walking away. Some went to Ford, others gave Ram a shot, and a lot of them simply sat back, hoping GM would get its act together. And now, that hope has finally turned into action. Under the watch of CEO Mary Barra, GM didn't just issue a press release saying, "We're working on it." No, they put real money on the table, $888 million to be exact. That's the investment GM made into completely revamping its Tonawanda propulsion plant in Buffalo, New York, one of the most historic engine plants in the country, and now the birthplace of GM's 6th generation small block V8. This isn't a tune-up, it's a total redesign, new machinery, new tools, new systems, all geared toward making this V8 the most reliable and powerful version yet. GM isn't just building an engine here, they're building a statement, a promise that they're listening, learning, and doing better. And here's where it gets even better. That investment isn't just good for Silverado drivers, it's good for workers too. Over 870 jobs at the Tonawanda plant are being protected, with nearly 200 of those previously at risk. It's a rare win-win, building a better engine and supporting American manufacturing at the same time. While other automakers are ditching big engines and going all in on turbos or electric power, GM is saying, we're not there just yet. Mary Barra has made it clear. Yes, GM is committed to leading the charge on EVs, but that doesn't mean ignoring the millions of people who still need, want, and love real V8 power. This new engine is about keeping that promise alive. It's about knowing your customer, and it's about balance, progressing into the future without abandoning what made you great in the first place. Let's be honest, this new V8 isn't just about horsepower or efficiency, it's about redemption. It's the GM saying, we've seen where we went wrong, we've studied the competition, we've listened to the people who matter most, our customers, and now we're coming back stronger. So what's actually different in this all-new V8? What makes it better than the old ones? What fixes have they made to finally break the cycle of problems? In the next section, we'll crack open the hood and take a closer look at the tech, the engineering, and the real changes that could make this the best small block V8 GM has ever built. Stay tuned. But the money is only one part of the story. What exactly is GM doing with this new engine? What makes it different? What makes it better? Let's break down the changes, because what's under the hood in 2026 is going to be very different from what came before. Alright, so GM has dropped nearly $1 billion and promised that the 2026 Silverado 1500 is getting a brand new V8. But what's actually different this time? What's changing under the hood that makes this engine more than just a new version of the same old thing? Let's break it down. First off, the valve train. This is where the lifter disasters of the past started. GM knew they couldn't mess this up again, so the new 6th gen V8 has a fully redesigned valve train system. It's stronger, more durable, and better lubricated. That means no more unexpected failures, especially when towing or pushing the truck hard. It's been built to take a beating and keep going, just like a proper truck engine should. Then there's cylinder management. In the past, GM's active fuel management and dynamic fuel management systems caused more problems than they solved. This time, they're doing things smarter. While we don't have every detail yet, GM has hinted at a reworked system that's less intrusive, more reliable, and possibly even optional on certain trims. That's a huge win for old school truck fans who just want all 8 cylinders running all the time. The engine is also being completely rethought in terms of efficiency and emissions. CEO Mary Barra has made it clear, this V8 needs to meet modern standards without losing what makes it great. So GM's engineers went back to the basics, rethinking combustion, improving airflow, upgrading cooling, and sharpening how the engine handles heat. The result? More power, better fuel economy, and cleaner emissions, all without adding complicated turbochargers or battery packs. And let's not forget the transmission pairing. One of the biggest complaints with the outgoing Silverado was how rough the gear changes felt. The new V8 will work with improved software and potentially upgraded transmission hardware, giving drivers a smoother, more responsive experience, especially at low speeds and when towing. Everything here is built with a clear goal: to make driving the Silverado feel effortless again. No more clunky shifts, weird hesitation, or wondering if your engine's about to fail. Just smooth, predictable V8 power. So yeah, this isn't just a fix, it's a full-on reset. GM is giving the Silverado's V8 the complete overhaul it's needed for years. And if the new Silverado delivers like it promises to, it could go down as one of the most important trucks GM has ever built.